Good afternoon, Dr. Morris. My presentation to the board is as follows as it relates to the implementation of a new supply chain function. So my presentation will outline the need for supply chain as far as a function in our organization. I will also address how pertinent it is to the future of our organization. Supply chain management has evolved from the manual logistics when you used to have to call a supplier or check on the delivery of raw material, waiting on logistic information. It has now grown to a more focused, optimized modernization where you have digital and automated integration, coordination of all supply chain elements. It plays a vital role in addressing the growing complexities of today's global supply chain industry. And companies are always looking really for the best approach as far as managing their daily operations. So I will cover some of these and I will address the need for a new supply chain in our organization. Now, just picture this for a minute. No accurate forecast of when materials are needed or needed to be ordered. No standardized production life cycle. The handling of materials, there's no process as far as obtaining delivery times. We have very limited suppliers that are unable to supply on peak demands or when we need it. Now, these are some of the challenges that we face on a daily basis. And statistics-wise, 50% of business, regardless of their size, fail or close down within 5 years of their launching if they have poor supply chain performance. Now, supply chain management is the oversight of material, information, and financials as they travel through the supply chain from supplier to manufacturer to wholesalers to retail as well as customers. It's about integration and coordinating all functions, activities, transactions, so that there's an interconnectivity or an interconnected area of our supply chain system, and this is what we're trying to improve in our organization. Some of the benefits of supply chain, the advantages is that it's easier for a company to manage all aspects of purchase and production. Companies using this system develop a set of matrix that to observe the supply chain's goods and services. The matrix also certify that purchasing of raw materials are done in a timely manner and is well organized. It also provides high quality goods to customers receiving them. And overall, obviously, if customers are happy, customers get quality service, they're gonna be long-time customers with us. The satisfaction of that will increase. Some of the other benefits of supply chain is interconnected business. They work together to provide customers with goods and service as they demand it. We work with suppliers of raw material as well as distributors. They're able to interconnect with the supply chain function because we have on demand. There's no delay in getting products to us because they're interconnected in a way where we're able to communicate with each other. Additionally to that is that it just really lowers costs. Supply chain management uses many suppliers and distributors. Therefore, it allows for a company to choose the most effective ones. Not only that, planning of raw material. Just think of being able to have the right amount of material when you need it without having to have storage of materials that you don't need. When you're interconnected, you know exactly what you need and you're able to lower inventory at all times. So you're not having a lot of inventory that you do not need. Another thing with purchasing agents as far as this is that they can identify ways on saving money, and that way you're able to cut costs as well. Some of the other benefits is plan and time. It maximizes profits. At the end of the day, our job is to make a profit, make a bottom and have a bottom line. And so these are some of the things that adds value to our overall business performance. High efficiency rate when customers integrate logistics and productions. System adjust to fluctuations during downtimes or economic times. We're able to have a shorter production time, better life cycles of products that can get out to customers. So the idea of this initiative is that supply chain management provides to customers the right products at the right place at the right time for the right cost is really what it boils down to. We're always looking to cut costs. We're always looking for ways to improve. And this supply chain management function will allow us to increase that, or at least do better with our bottom line on this. Some of the reasons for supply chain management is that it lowers cost and inventory, as I mentioned before. It improves quality of products. We have a higher profit margin, and it improves customer satisfaction. So overall, these are some of the benefits of having a supply chain management. Now, obviously, with everything, it requires that we have to have some implementation. We have to have training. We have to set up the right people. It has to be a buy-in, not only with the stakeholders, but also with employees, with managers, with the board itself. There has to be a buy-in to the need for having the supply chain management. And that's where training will come in. Training and development will come in. More effective actions as far as behaviors on the job. Improved result will show based on these training. Now, as far as some of the benefits with adapting this process is that companies overall, it's always good to have better practice, better employee buy-in into an organization. When you're improving on innovations, when you're building on ways to make our job really just easier, it also builds the morale of the employees. So these are added benefits. Will help with the frustration in logistics. It would help with the frustration in production. This will allow us to be better employees, and all around stakeholders will be happy. So justifications. Obviously, we have to point out why are we doing this, and that really goes back to our organization being a desirable place to work. A report states that employee training and development programs also have a positive impact on performance. And so job quality affects workers' morale, job satisfaction. Workers have to apply their skills and ability to a job. And so key functions of the supply chain management help us or eliminate the stress and the lag in work performance as well as production. Being able to be able to work with suppliers and customers, have a smoother transition, and make, all bottom line, it just makes the work easier to manage. Some of the outcomes, obviously with us implementing a supply chain management, there needs to be some outcome. What are the end result? Obviously, we spoke about the benefits, the cost factor. We've talked about customers being satisfied, but really and truly, what are the outcomes of a supply chain management function? Well, a supply chain management function aligns around a clear, inspiring strategy of values, team redesign, its organization, management systems and practices for best results. Global initiatives and cross-culture alignment is necessary in a global competitive market. Again, if as a global organization, as a global economy, if we don't stay ahead, we're left behind. Increase in productivity, loyalty and morale of the team. These are some of the added outcomes of a good supply chain management function. So in conclusion, I try to create a value for the company. Mid-market executives, for example, must look at holistic ways, or holistic ways of supply chain management. Clearly, for an organization to be successful in today's global world, you must recognize diversity is an advantage to their bottom line. So diversity, whether it be cultural diversity, suppliers, customers, every area of us growing, we have to look at ways to always grow or build on top of what we know. The company that stays ahead in innovation is always the one that leads the pack. And so for this presentation is more so having to understand that we as a company believe that the core values of our employees, suppliers, and our customer is to grow and to get better every day. Communication is important. And so therefore, we must invest in customers, we must invest in employees, we must invest in the core value of our organization, because it does help us to stay ahead of the game, and it also helps us to improve as a company itself. And finally, we must invest in supply chain management, because it will provide the best results, it will provide the best outcome, and it is vital to the organization's success as we pay dividends years to come. And so, this is my presentation. Please consider all the suggestions and all the ways that we can make this function part of our organization. And I am available for any questions. And I look forward to the further discussion of this implementation. Thank you and have a great day.